Hi guys, hopefully things are working now. I haven't got a clue, but we can try. Tried pulling up on my browser so I can see when people are in, but I don't know where we see it. Right, there we go. Hopefully that's working now. We can see what's going on. We'll get there. We'll make it work. We'll work with what we got. So, if you were here a second ago, I was just saying I'm doing some plying of some yarn. But we will see. Move that out there, and hopefully we're good. Let me know if you can hear me and everything's alright, because I seem to be having technical difficulties. What's new there? I'm always having technical difficulties, let's face it. So at the moment I'm just plying up some yarn that I spun up earlier. One strand is grey and the other is different greens and that. The dark green, the middle green and the mint green. I've done one skein already. This is the matching skein for it. That we will see. Hopefully the chat is working. It keeps putting on top chat instead of bullet chat, so I won't notice it. Let's try live chat and see if that gives us anything. So hopefully it's all working now. Probably should have put in my group that I'm going live, shouldn't I? I did say earlier in my group that I'm hoping to go live. Shall we post in the group in a minute? And then hopefully some people will know. I'm so organised. As per usual for me, we all know I'm always super organised. But I just thought, I'd go live, because I haven't been live for a little while, have I? It's been over a month now since I was live, I think, wasn't it? I just haven't been feeling up to it. So it's nice to I suppose I'm going to do at everyone. I know that annoys people, but it just makes it easier. That way everybody gets notified, don't they? Don't know if I can do my TikTok live. Turn that off, because the stand that I've got for my phone blocks the sound off, so I need the other stand, which I think might be over in the other room. But on my desk. Let me go and have a look on my desk a minute. There we go. I've got my other stand, so that means hopefully I can go live on YouTube while I'm at it, shall we see? How do we go live on? I'm on TikTok rather. Live. Let's see if that one will hold up there. Don't know if we can make the camera see on that. It doesn't really hold in place for seeing down. What are you all up to anyway? I'm going to get the other stand. stand. This stand works better for my phone. Put it up. Let's stand it down there. And then I can put my phone on here. And hopefully people will be able to see what I'm doing on TikTok. Hopefully. We will see. Let's see, bring that in and tilt it slightly. There you go. There we go. Now hopefully everything's working and I can get on with this. Saves me reposting my TikTok live straight on YouTube if I'm already up on YouTube doing it. Because I have to download it off of TikTok, otherwise it doesn't also stay on TikTok. But hopefully you can all see what I'm doing now. Shouldn't have too much of this plying left to do, but I actually have beside me ready the next lot of stuff that I'm going to spin. So once we've got this done, I can put this on the niddy noddy and start spinning the next skeins. I'll probably start spinning the next skein anyway before I put this on the niddy noddy. If you don't know what a niddy noddy is, it's just a wooden stick that you put the things on, and that is what we turn in, make the balls come off of here and turn into the skeins or the hanks that you normally see. Feel free to ask questions or chat. I haven't got much to chat about. I haven't got any questions prepared or anything. I just thought I'd come live and say hi to everyone while I work on this, because I'm getting a bit lonely doing it all on my own. So the next ones I'm going to do is going to be similar. I'm going to have one leading plain colour, like I've got this one. This one's grey, but I'm going to do a light blue. And then instead of the 3 different greens and the light blue that's in this one, I'm actually going to do a pink, a purple and a blue for the next colourway. So one strand will be changing colour and one strand will stay the same colour for the whole time. If that makes sense. I'll put them up on Instagram once I'm done and you'll be able to see what it is I'm doing. Hi to all those on TikTok. You can sort of see, I know your angle is not great compared to my things, but I haven't used the TikTok live studio because they don't seem to have a category that fits with my things, so we're on separate cameras, so YouTube viewers are getting a view of me and my Will in 2 different cameras, whereas you TikTok viewers are just getting the one odd angle. I apologise. So I have to look in multiple cameras now, which is confusing for me. Just that way I can keep an eye on the chats. But both of them say I have people viewing, so please do say hello. Haven't got any music on in the background because though TikTok doesn't seem to mind that, YouTube definitely will mind that. And I'd rather not get my stuff dinged. It is a lazy way to do the 2 flying on this one and just let it run through instead of feeding it backwards and forwards. Because this is just a basic tension on it. So you can't see, but it's on a lazy cape down here. You can see that there, and it's feeding off of that. And they're the 2 skeins that I plied earlier. That I spun earlier, not plied earlier. They're the 2 that I spun earlier. And now they're being twisted together. You can see that. And that creates the nice pretty colours. that I have on my bobbin right now. I do like the flying because it gives me other hand a rest, because I often get cramp in my hand from holding to stop the twist going up, whereas the flying I don't have to hold it too much because I intentionally want them to twist down. It doesn't matter if I just let it feed through like that, it's still just feeding through correctly, whereas I couldn't do that with actually spinning the yarn because I have to hold the twist in. Nobody wants to be chatty today, do they? You're all very quiet. Probably about halfway through. Trying to think on the colour changes here. It looks like I've got 2 colour changes left after I get to the end of this one. So I'm actually probably a third of the way through. I'll be done soon. And then I can move on to spinning the new colourways. Once these are spun and put onto the niddy noddy, they then get washed so that the twist sets, and then they're good to use from that point onwards. Need to change the yarn from the hook to move it along the bobbin. If I was doing a chain ply, I'd have to have more control over this plying, but just the 2 ply, I'm not too worried about it. And this particular yarn I'm probably going to use myself to create an outfit for the Fairy Festival I'm going to be going to, which I'm going to go as a steampunk fairy. So I need to create some bits and pieces from the outfit. Yeah, I've got this light mint colour and then the dark green to go, and then that's the end of this bobbin, and that's 100 grams done. Quiet one today. I guess everyone's at work today. I know Alice is working. I don't know about the rest of you. I didn't give much notice today of going live, just put it up this morning that I was probably going to go live, because I never know how I'm going to feel each day, so I haven't been planning the lives as such. Checking that the chat on YouTube hadn't hid from me. Thanks for the likes and thumbs up. Don't know who's gave them, but thank you anyway. Somebody's gave me some thumbs up on YouTube. I want to try a new software. There's someone I've been watching who is from, I found him on TikTok, but he's also on YouTube, so I watch his lives a lot on YouTube. He's a wood turner, but he's using a different software that looks like you can do Twitch and YouTube not Twitch. Yeah, no, Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. And I've been thinking about starting to actually go live on my Twitch account. I've had a Twitch account for years and never used it. So that software might be quite good if I can do it simultaneously. I know you're not supposed to stream from Twitch as well as doing somewhere else, but what's the worst they can do? Cut my account off? I don't have a following on there yet anyway, so it wouldn't matter, would it? Yeah, I didn't do the scratch art this time round because I've done that the last few lives, so I thought we'd have something different for this live. I know for my TikTok I'm often doing the spinning live because it's just easier to set up on the camera, but for my YouTube I'm often doing the scratch art, and I thought we'd do something different and just do some spinning because I was going to take a break from the spinning, but there's so much to get done before my next event that I thought I don't have time to take a break. So I'll just do this and come on and say hi to you lot too. I need to switch my hook again. So the hooks just keep it neat along here, but other than that I don't actually need to switch my hook just yet. I always forget which hook I'm on. I thought I was on the one that looked quite big, but I'm actually on the one next to it, so it's not ready to go live to be switched just yet. I think I may end up with some grey left over from this, so I'm going to have to weigh this just in case I need to spin up some more of the greens. And then the light blue to finish it off, because it might be that because I've done it different lengths, because I don't spin to a length, I just spin a weight, and then that weight would often be a different length because it depends on how even I've got it. So often they end up different lengths, so even though both of these are 50 grams, it could be that it's just not going to line up quite right, so I'll have to see once I've finished off the green whether I need to put a little more in to get it up to the 50 grams, because I haven't finished all the grey, because I want 100 grams on here when finished, and usually that's 50 of each. But depending on how it twists and how it feeds and how thin I've got it, there could be different lengths to get the same weight. If that makes sense. If it doesn't, ask and I'll say it again and I'll try to explain it better. If you need me to move the cameras to try to show anything else, just say and I can try. I'm not sure what other angles I can get, but it can't hurt to try, can it? So the next butterfly loom video should be out tomorrow, providing there's no hiccups in the software. My software's been a little temperamental recently. I've had to do the subtitles as a separate file because it's not exporting the subtitles or captions with the video. It makes the video black screened, so I have to do it as a separate file, and then you have to turn it on YouTube in order to have them. The last two are still waiting for their file uploads, but it takes a little longer to get the transcripts done because the software's not great for it. So I've taken to just uploading the videos and putting the transcripts up at a slightly later date, but they get there eventually. We're almost coming to the end of the basic videos for the butterfly looms now. Then we're going to move on to some basic videos for the Prim Maxi square loom, peg loom thing, and the smaller one they do, the mini. Got a few different tutorials for them to come. And then I've got some basic info and some tutorials on what spinning wheel is and Bridgetino looms, so they'll all be coming at some point. It'll take a little while to get the editing and things done, and depending on how I'm feeling, depends on whether I can film in one go or whether I have to do it in different points. So probably going to take the rest of the year to get them all done, but they will be done. And then next year I'll have some more, not fully advanced yet, but slightly more advanced than the complete basic beginner tutorials, how to do some passing and things with them. It's time to change my hook now, and we're on the dark green, so we're almost done on this skein. I think both cameras can just show the colour change that's happening. Thank you for the thumbs ups on YouTube again. Don't forget to subscribe or follow or whatever it is on each one, if you want to see more content and when I do random lives, because they very rarely are planned, they're usually just random. And then I just see who's about at the time for them. Just gives me a chance to do something and chat without chatting to myself, even though I'm kind of chatting to myself because no one's asking questions. But I had a lovely chatty person on my last TikTok live, but I guess they're not about today. Oh, hiya Bear! How you doing? Hope that message hasn't been there long, I never noticed it. One day, Bear, I'll call you your proper name, but I always forget it. You know what I'm like. Head like a sieve. I mean, if you have a different real name than your username, I'm not going to remember what your name is. Long time no chat, Bear. How you doing? Yeah, definitely going to run out of green before I get to the end of this grey. So I think I might have to spin up some more of that, so we might leave this bobbin part finished and move on to the other colourway until I can do some weighing to see what I need to add in. Brenda, there we are, I knew it. Brenda, see, one day I might remember, I mean I should do, let's fair, how long have you been telling me what it is now? Many years, but I forget every time, because I'm terrible. I'm glad you're alright, it's been a while, hasn't it? I'm alright, just, you know how it is, isn't it? I'm fatigued a lot nowadays and in a lot of pain a lot, so I don't get to go live as often as I wanted to, but I thought I'm going to go live today because it's been a while and I've got a lot coming up for events, so I thought go live now while I can. I don't know who's trying to get me to go live with them on TikTok, but it isn't happening because I don't even know who you are. Yeah, I was always called Hippie Chick when I was little. That was my nickname, Hippie Chick. Because I liked a lot of white clothing, as you could tell. Things never changed as I got older. My hair's become a slightly more normal colour because I just don't have the energy to keep up the dyeing. But I do miss it not being bright pink or bright red or orange or whatever I've had, because I always had bright colours. One day I'll have bright colours again, hopefully. I'm glad I'm not the only one that forgets everyone's names. We always joke and call it Gina-itis. That's my mum's name, Gina, because she always forgets. I'm one of 6, and she'd call each of us each other's names, including the dog's name, because she just gets them all jumbled up. But it's weird because she does that, but she doesn't forget birthdays ever. We've got a large family, and she knows everyone's birthdays. I barely remember my own kids' birthdays. Yeah. I'm glad you managed to catch me there. It's been so long, hasn't it? I'm so far behind on people's videos. I get caught up, and then I find a new Netflix show or something that I want to binge watch, so I binge watch that, and then I get behind again. This is the problem, innit? But it's the upkeep of dyeing the hair. I love having bright coloured hair. But in order to get it really bright, I need to bleach it because obviously my hair is a little brown. And then there's just such an upkeep. It's just so much work to keep doing it that I just don't have the energy for it anymore. I've done my youngest son's hair a few times. He likes dyeing his hair as well. But he's got quite short hair, so it's simple. And like me, he's not too worried about when the colour starts fading. He just lets it fade out until the next colour. But it's still a lot. Hi, Addicted. Addicted to yarn. I'm going to have to think of a different name for you. I can't just keep calling you Addictive, can I? Thanks for the follow on my TikTok. This is my thing. I don't know if you've seen Render, but I've actually recently started learning bobbin lace. A lady on TikTok does it, and she creates some YouTube tutorials breaking it down really, really simple. So I've been doing her bobbin lace, and I'm loving it. I've done 2 bookmarks while I got practicing doing stuff, so they're not great, but you know, they work, they held together, they didn't fall apart, so that's a good start, I think. Nicole, okay, I'll try to remember Nicole. You should totally learn to spin, Nicole. It is amazing. It's so relaxing. I always describe it as patting your head, rubbing your tummy, and tap dancing at the same time. If you can do that, you're good. Makes it sound so complicated, but it's really not. You just have to... At this point, I'm plying the yarn, so I'm not doing any drafting or anything. But you just have to use... Your foot just has to keep the rhythm of the wheel going. Or if you get an electric, you don't even have to worry about that. And then you have to allow the yarn to be drafted out, so thinned out as it twists, so that you don't end up with big clumps. So it's not as complicated as it first looked. A bit like bobbin lace. I always thought that was really, really complicated when I first looked. But when you broke down the movements, it actually wasn't as complicated. And that's the same with spinning. You just have to learn the movements, and then after that, you're good to go. Yeah, I have drop spindles. I don't do so well with drop spindles. I'm learning drop spindles. I'm at the end of my green here. But I've got several different types of drop spindles. I've got the normal disc one. I've got an extra large disc one that a friend gave me. And I have a Turkish spindle. And I do love them all. But I'm not very good. I'm much better on the wheel than I am on a drop spindle. But if you can work a drop spindle, you can work this easily. Just break that off there and spin this through a minute. What we do, I've got some scales beside me so I can just weigh it and see what it's coming up as. Yeah, it's slightly short, so I'm going to have to make some more green for this one, but camera, that way. There you go. It's getting a little dark in here, isn't it? Alexa, let there be light.
Okay.
Sorry if I triggered anyone, but there you go. I'll show that on there. So what I'll do is I'll make some more green, the next colourway, which actually I think might be light blue, the next one on this one. I can check my picture, and then I'll finish the grey off and get some more onto that. But what I can do for now is use the bobbin that I've just taken the green off of. And if I can put the stick back in my lazy Kate. And put this on, and we can start on the next colourway, and then I can just finish that colourway when I've done the math to work out how much more I need, because I have to calculate the weight of the bobbin in as well, so that I make sure it's not too short, because I always try to do all of my skeins at 100 grams minimum. Just makes it easier. Yeah, I've tried a few different tutorials on drop spindles. They haven't gone well. I'm getting better, slowly but surely. I think the problem is, with a drop spindle, I don't keep it going quite as long as a lot of people, so it doesn't get as much twist in the fibre. With this, I don't have a problem having the twist in. It goes in really easily. But with the drop spindle, if I don't remember to give it the extra twist so that the fibre's got enough twist, it undoes itself. Which is part of my problem. So I just need to get better at that, which I will do, you know. Practice makes progress. So the colours we are working with for the next lot are these, and then we're going to be doing a strand of the light blue with it as well. So I've already got my little bits broken down into little things down here. So we're going to go with the blue, then the purple, then the pink, and then we're going to repeat that all the way through, and that'll be one half of the ply, and then the other half will be that light blue the whole time. And I think it gives a really nice colour effect. Yeah, I follow Julian Eve. She's fantastic, isn't she? I'm not sure I've actually seen the other two. I'm going to have to look them up, because I could do all the help I can get on using a drop spindle. So my wheel's going to be going the opposite way now from plying. Plying I went anti-clockwise, and now I'm going clockwise for spinning. And we're just pulling the fibre out. I don't know how well you can see that from your angle, but we're pulling it out to make it thinner, and then we let the twist go in that, and I use my fingers to pinch so the twist doesn't go down into this bit. You only want the twist in the bit that's the other side of my fingers, and that makes drafting easier. Yeah, I'll have to check her out there. I also think it's important to know which fibre you're working with when you're spinning. I first learnt to spin with alpaca. Not the easiest stuff to spin, because alpaca doesn't grip like sheep's wool does. And this stuff here is merino, which is my main go-to. I tend to use merino for everything. so also quite a fine, non-grippy fibre. To start spinning, I think is what I really should be using on the drop spindle. Something a little more grippy and not quite so smooth, with a higher micron count might be better. So maybe some Covered Out or Blueface Leicester, Jacobs, something like that. It's a little more, not quite so soft to the touch. But I find because of my sensitivity issues, I tend to have the finer, smoother yarns that just took a little longer for me to learn, which I think is why I struggle with the drop spindle quite so much. So what have you guys been up to anyway? So I've got these in sets of about 5 grams each, so they're going to be quite long colour changes. Normally I'd strip these down into like 4 pieces before I start spinning it, but I kind of forgot, so I'm just spinning it like this. But I find if it's pre-split, I find it easier to keep it same sort of consistency. And normally I have dangling on my wheel a little measuring device that shows me what I'm spinning to, but it's currently over on the table over there because I've been using it to check the WPI of the yarn that I've already spun and washed, so that I can get the labels done on them correctly. Because I always label the WPI as well as the weight and the approximate thickness, so whether it's 4 ply, DK, that sort of thing, of all of my hand spun yarns, so they've got a rough idea of what they're using. I've seen a few people coming up on my TikTok who have been doing the spinning for Tour de Fleece. I kind of forgot about it again. I forget every year because I always see things going on for Tour de Fleece, but I never actually do anything with it. And you've got your rigid heedle. Which rigid heedle did you get in the end? I'm obsessed with mine. I now have the 32-inch and the, well, I thought it was the 10-inch, that's what it was sold to me as, but actually, after ordering a new reed for it, I now know that it's actually the 8-inch. So I was missold it. But it's a good little one for other people to play on when I'm doing events. Yeah, the only thing about my WPI gauge is it's not a very good write-out on it. There's a massive gap between the fingering and lace weight measurement, and I need something a little more in between. So though I use it to wrap around to count, I actually use a different marking system to mark it than what's wrote on there, because it just makes no sense to have it suddenly jump from, I think it's 19 up to 35, and there's nothing for a measurement in between, which makes no sense to me. So I found a different guide that has a different measurement for it. Oh, you got the 24-inch one. I'm tempted for the 16-inch at some point, just because the 8-inch I got is just not quite big enough to do mats and things on that I wanted. But obviously the 32 inch is very big and a lot of space. Oh, good luck with your camping, and yeah, you've got to work out what projects you've got to take. You can't not take projects, can you? I always say, if you invite me somewhere, you're inviting my projects with me. How long are you going for? Is it, I don't really know how long summer camps last. Is it like a 6-week thing? Because that's a lot of projects. Or one really big one. Everyone's very quiet over on my TikTok today. No one's really chatting. I don't know if I've missed anyone chatting, but it keeps bringing up about me inviting other people to lives. And I don't want to invite other people I don't know to the lives because I don't know them. I don't know what they're going to be doing on the live. It could be a weirdo. If you've seen on my Instagram, I've been doing a lot of dyeing of yarn. I've still got loads to do, but we need to rewind all of the stuff that I've dyed so that I can get them labelled up, because I need the zip tie tag things I use on them, because I only have a certain amount. So until I've got more, I can't actually dye anything more. But I've got a lot more to get dyed. I've done 42, I think it's over there. So I've still got like another 110 or something to do. And once it arrives, I've also got a bunch of fibre that I'm going to hand dye, so I've got to wait for that. I suppose the youngest hasn't headed off to work yet. He must be working a later shift today. Yeah, I've been trying very hard to do other colours for spinning because, as we all know, I love my pink. So I've been trying to break up the pinks with some other colours because a lot of my hand spun is pink, and if I'm going to sell it, it needs to be other colours. I actually need a green type colour to make an outfit for my fairy festival. That's what the one that I've been spinning up is supposed to be. But I had to change plans and use a grey because I ran out of the dark green. So I don't know what I'm going to do, whether just make a whole new different colourway for it or whether see if that works. I've got to work out what wings, because I've got to work out how I'm going to put them on my wheelchair. Oh, so in a week. That's not too bad then. Good luck with the teaching. What sort of age range is it? I do love teaching crochet and that. Have you got set projects planned, or is it just going to be teaching basic stitches? I used to teach an after school club, arts and crafts, and I taught them to sew and crochet and bake and all sorts, and they used to love it. They were primary school kids, so it was very basic stuff, but it was quite good. Also a good age, so hopefully you should be able to get some good stuff done then. hand cramp and I lost control of the fibre. Always untwist a little when I do that, so I make sure I get the twist back in the bit that rolled off. Oh, no, didn't do enough. Let's split that down a little a minute. I can go for hours and not have any problems, and then I can go for minutes and it will have problem after problem. All user error, nothing wrong with my wheel at all, it's entirely user error. But we will get there. And because now I spin so thin, I have to try to hide the joins. The odd lump doesn't matter, because once it's plied nobody notices. But 500 kids. Oh yeah, no, I had like 30, that was enough. I hope there's a lot of you counsellors there. 500, that's insane. That's a lot of kids. Oh, that's really cool. I think that'd be lovely for the ones who do know what to do already, that they can still take part and have a project to do. I think that'd be really awesome. I think basic arts and crafts should be taught in schools more often. It's, at least around here, the good arts and crafts stuff. It kind of disappeared from schooling. I taught quite a few of the kids around here how to knit and crochet. When my boys were younger, the girls would come around here during the summer holidays to learn instead of going out and playing, which was really nice, because my boys learned basics but they didn't really want to do much of it. So it was nice to have some other people that wanted to come around. And then a few of my nieces have learned over the years, but I don't think they continued. They just kind of, they sat down and learned with me for a while and then stopped. Almost at the end of this first colourway, so we'll swap over to the other one once I'm done. Definitely need to find a better way of setting up the cameras, but my main tripod that I normally use is actually currently holding up the middle of the poles for the yarn that's dying, because we've just got my photo, the photo frames that you hang a cloth on the background for the background to do photos for portraits and things. Well, I basically got metal one of them up, super long, and then we put my tripod in the middle to prop up the middle so it doesn't collapse while we hang a rather large amount of yarn on it. I didn't get to go to camps and that much. When I was younger, I went to St John's Ambulance, which was learning first aid and that, and that had a camping session once that I went to, but that was about it. So I actually self-taught myself crafts when I got older, because I had no one to teach me when I was younger, no one I knew done it. My nan does do crochet now, but she wasn't really doing it when I was younger, so I didn't really get anyone to teach me. So I just did it myself. So I love that there is people out there teaching it all now. It's part of what got me to start my YouTube channel, was I wanted to be able to teach people crafts, and when I stopped doing the after school club, I started the YouTube channel instead. Thinking that, you know, nobody would watch. And then many years later, I still have people watching. Some of my oldest videos are not the best quality, but they seem to still have people coming back for them, so that's not too bad, I don't think. My youngest walking in silently waving. Right now, for me, it is 3:58 in the afternoon, so just shy of 4 o'clock in the afternoon for me. Yeah, I'm in the UK in England, in a place called Wiltshire, Salisbury, Wiltshire. So nothing exciting or pretty here, really. I think the only time this place ever really hit the news is when we had the Russian poisonings over here. It's a touristy city, but to be honest, it's not particularly good for that nowadays. Most of our shops, like a lot of places, have closed down, so it's just not a lot going on. I'm so bad at geography, I'll have to Google these places later to see exactly where you are, because I ain't got a clue. Geography is not my strong point. I can get lost just going from here to Southampton and it's a straight line. So trying to work out where anything else is in the world is not particularly the easiest for me. Luckily, my boys don't have that. They're very good at their geography. They know where they're going all the time. They go off and travel around. All three of my boys go off and about, which is quite nice. Oh wow, it's an interesting gold mining area. Yeah, it's got some cool history to it. Probably not all good, let's face it, most of our histories are great. Most of the reason people come here is because we've got a cathedral, so they come to see the cathedral, or they go slightly further out from us but stay here and they go to Stonehenge. And then there's Avebury, they're all in driving distance from here. So that's why most of them come here, really. You have a yarn shop with a coffee shop inside? I'd just be glad for a nice yarn shop. We have a sewing shop that sells yarn, but the yarn is upstairs with no lift, so no good for me when I'm in my wheelchair. I used to have to leave my wheelchair downstairs and clamber up the stairs, which I didn't mind doing when it was a manual, but I'm not leaving my electric downstairs. Somebody will wander with it. know why TikTok keeps trying to insist on me inviting people to lives. Literally all my feed on their thing is invite such and such to a live. I don't want to invite strangers to a live. I'd love to live in Cornwall or Devon. I lived in Devon for a little while in Plymouth and I absolutely loved it. I'd love to go back, but I couldn't do Plymouth because it's just too hilly. I couldn't cope with it nowadays. But I'd love to go back that way because it's just so gorgeous down there. Yeah, I heard you've had a few yarn shows shut down. We've had a few shut down over here too. I guess the shows just aren't doing as well. I'm actually vending at a Southern Wool show this year in September and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm hoping that one's going to stay, not suddenly disappear on us. But yeah, I gather there's a few suddenly disappearing. Just stop in a second, just got some of my drink. Give my leg a rest. Can't wait until I get the electric spinner, because then when my legs hurt I can stop and just carry on spinning without my leg having to be a pain in the butt. You'll have to give us some pictures or something, Brenda, so we can see what it's like. I'll live through you and see all the lovely yarn there. There's a yarn show coming up. Forgotten what it is now. I think the end of July. That I'm hoping to maybe go along to, but I'm not. Again, I don't know anything about geography, so it might be too far away. So I'm going to get Duncan to have a look. And if it's close enough, I'll pop along just to have a look and see what they got there. But otherwise, the only one I'm making is Southern Wool, and I haven't found many actual good yarn shops around. There was a yarn shop in town that sold the higher end yarns, which was really nice, but it was tucked away out of the way, and her colour range was much more on the subtle colour. And we all know I like my bright colours, so I didn't really shop there. It'd be nice to have a decent shop around that had all the bright colours. One day I'd like to have my shop in town, but you know, that takes some budgeting. Yeah, this village I live in used to be really small when I grew up in it, and now there's so many more houses. It's not the same, you know. You used to all know who everyone is, now people are out, and now I don't even know who half the people are on my street, and I've been here 14 years. I only really started talking to my neighbour directly attached to me when I started my craft group and she came along. And it's passing hellos and byes to the ones on that side, but that's about it. Over the years, I gave up trying to get to know anyone because no one really wanted to chat or anything, which was a shame. I think the battery on my phone is still good. Determined to get this spun because I need to get it all washed and dried and put away before the new fibre arrives so that I can start blending it. I need to turn off this thing to stop people trying to invite themselves to my TikTok live. It's really annoying. Yep, most of my yarn friends are YouTubers. To be fair, most of my friends are YouTube friends. For years I didn't speak to another living person other than family, other than on my YouTube channel. And still, until I started my craft group, I never really knew anyone else around here. I think some of my longest lasting friendships are my YouTube friendships. Keep forgetting to bring down my wedge pillow. I have a wedge pillow that I can put behind my back to support my back more when I'm spinning, but I have it upstairs when I'm sat up in bed reading or something or watching TV to support my back up there, and I keep forgetting to bring it down here. I really wish I did right now. So we're on the last bit of this purple, and then once this is done we're moving on to the pink. And then that'll be the first colour repeat done. And we're going to be doing 3 colour repeats plus 1 extra of the blue to get it to 50 grams. But as I didn't empty the grey, I can't do the 50 grams of the light blue until I take the grey off or decide what to do with that other skein that's now short slightly. I wonder what time my youngest is at work today, because he still hasn't gone. Unless he's not working today, but he normally works on a Thursday. Oh yeah, I bet that was not comfy. Some of my spinning friends from the spinning group, they've got proper wooden spinning chairs, so, you know, the traditional style spinning chair that you'd get with a spinning wheel. which they seem to really like, but I question how comfy they are. Just hard wood. But maybe they are really, really comfy. I do need to come up with a better solution than sitting on the sofa when I spin, because it's not good for my back. And yeah, like you say, your bum goes numb. There was this nice chair in Dunelm that looked like would be really nice to thing, and it was pink, you know. But we just don't have anywhere to put another chair for me. I take up a lot of space with all my craft stuff, so I think trying to fit another chair into it would not be good. I had to spin over here because I can't actually spin in my craft room because there's not enough room for a chair. And I can't spin where I normally go live because there's not enough room to pull my chair out to spin. Which is why I'm in the lounge today instead of over on my desk area where all my yarn and that is. Because it's just too narrow to be over there. Yeah, they really don't look very comfortable, do they, Brenda? They just look really solid, and to be frank, they look quite small, and I might be short, but I've got a large butt, and I'm not sure I'd fit on it. People keep telling me I shouldn't get so much craft stuff if I don't have room for it, and I'm like, but I have room for it in my heart. And all this craft stuff keeps me sane. I don't go doolally not being able to do anything if I can sit down and craft. I'm going to strip it this time, which is much better. I don't like having big lumps to work from, because sometimes it's not all neat and it can get hid inside the lump, so if I strip it beforehand I can usually see where there's a bit matted or something and take it out without it ruining too much of the actual fibre. I think they were definitely made for women who were the typical super skinny woman back in the day, when you didn't really have those of us who have actual lumps and bumps. Thanks for coming along, Nicole. I'll get it right one day, I promise. Have a lovely time at your summer camp. I hope it goes well, and I hope your crochet lessons go well. Hopefully we'll catch you on the next one and you can tell us how it went. You take care. I think Bear was Brenda, weren't you, Brenda? So hard to remember. She's only told me today, but I'm so bad at remembering. Yay, look, I got it right! Woo! There's a lovely lady, it sometimes makes my lives Lonna, and it's taken me so long to remember how to pronounce her name. It's like I don't forget what it is, but I forget the pronunciation. Pink looks so vibrant against the other two. hoping it's not a mistake to put it in there, but I really like it. I think it'll work okay. I think it gives a little brightness to the two more deeper, darker colours. I'm looking forward to when my blending board pieces arrive. I've bought the card and Duncan's going to put it onto board for me. And then I'll be able to create my own colourways with the blending board. That's going to be fun. And I've got a bunch of white fibre arriving, which I'm going to be able to hand dye and create some colourways that way as well, which I'm really looking forward to. You go grab your coffee. I don't like coffee. I'm one of the weird people who don't drink coffee. I like my tea. I have this cute little teapot that's perfect for one person. It's loose tea, so it's got like a strainer built into it, a little glass teapot, and I love it. I just realised I've been alive for just over an hour, so I'll probably have to head off soon myself. What was it, 4:18? Yeah, I'll probably head off soon myself. See what's just come down here. Hopefully that didn't ruin the line, it just paused it briefly. I don't know if there's anyone in my TikTok thing or not. It shows symbols for people, but this count is showing 0. So I don't know what's going on with that. I think what I'll probably do is finish off this colourway of the pink and then possibly take a little break myself. My back is really hurting, so I think I need to lay down and try to stretch it out. I've got one of those plastic back stretcher things that you lay on, so it kind of forces your back to curve a bit, which really helps. But I have to put my big fluffy hoodie over it because it's too painful to lay on, because it's this hard plastic with like little knobbly bits on it. It's supposed to be comfy, it's really not, it's painful as hell. So I put a soft thing over it, but then it helps with the stretching of my back when it gets seized up, which it's starting to do. So yeah, I think I'll get to the end of this pink and then I'm probably going to give it a go and head off myself. It's been lovely to chat to those who have actually been commenting and not just lurking. And who knows, hopefully next time I'll work out how to get OBS to show me how many people are viewing in YouTube, and I'll have to keep a window open that shows me on the actual live. But I'm going to look into that other software and see what that's like, because I know that the person I've seen using that software, they have a account, so there must be a way to do it on that software. Excuse me, sorry. Oh, welcome back, Brenda. How's your coffee? I really don't like coffee. I always got my lemonade and things beside me, or my tea, but I want to like coffee, because you can get it in really cool flavours and funky looking coffees, but I don't like it. I've tried so hard, but it's like olives. I really want to eat olives, they always look so good, but I just can't stand them. I'm going to get to the end of this pink that I've got, which I think is 2, maybe 3 more bits, and then I'm going to call it quits there, Brenda, because my back is killing me. There's like 2 more bits. Once I've got the blending board set up, I'll probably do some lines with that once I've worked out how to use it properly. I've used one before, but I've not had a good proper play of a blending board, so I want to have a good play before I attempt to do that on camera. My husband absolutely hates cheese, tomatoes, pasta, pizza, mushrooms. All the foods that I absolutely love. So we often have very different meals. Now I have to have dairy-free cheese and gluten-free pizzas and things nowadays, which is not as nice. But back when I could eat all of that stuff, he would not go anywhere near it. He really couldn't stand it. Same with pesto. He hates the smell of pesto, and I absolutely love pesto. Whereas I can't stand the smell of sausages and burgers and things like that, and he absolutely loves them. He's a big meat eater, whereas I don't tend to eat meat at all. Yeah, what we've done, instead of buying a blending board, is we've actually just bought the card, like the replacement cloth, and we'll just put it onto our own board, so kind of make our own one, because I really wanted a blending drum, so a drum carder. But they're so expensive. I just can't warrant spending that sort of money on something. So what we're doing is we're actually making the cloth wide enough that we can get the same size bats as you do on a drum carder, but on a blending board. So it's going to be quite a big blending board. It's going to be 12 by 24 inches, the blending cloth part, to give me the same size as a drum carder would give me for bats, but without the cost. It's still not the cheapest doing it that way, but it's way cheaper than doing a drum carder. Hi Tina. The other son doesn't like pizza, hot dogs and most sweets. Yeah, see, how can you not like pizza? But yeah, my husband hates it. But then my middle son, if you gave him the choice between sweets or fruit, he would take the fruit. Not anymore, but when he was younger, he absolutely loved to have his own fruit. He even had his own little fridge, and he got a little one of those little tiny mini fridges. He asked for it for his birthday or Christmas one year off of my mother, and she bought him it thinking he'd want to keep his sweets and his soda and that in it. No, he wanted it for his fruit and veg. He wanted to keep fruit and veg in his bedroom and keep it fresh. He's not that healthy anymore, but he was very healthy as a child. And my youngest, he would eat cucumbers like he would an apple. He's obsessed with cucumbers when he was younger. He just would munch away on them. And now he likes the sweets more. They went from very healthy children to adults who are definitely more like their father and not very healthy. Yeah, it's probably a bit of a nightmare, isn't it, if you don't like any of the birthday party food and you go to parties, because you don't want to be the odd one out and not go to these things, but eating food you don't like is no fun. So I tend to take my own food with me when I go to places, because most people can't cater for gluten-free, dairy-free, meat-free. So we had a kid who used to come to my oldest and middle one's birthday parties, who was friends with both of them. He was type 1 diabetic, so we used to make sure we bought in stuff that he could eat, because it was a bit unfair for him to go there and then see all this party stuff that he couldn't eat. So we checked with his mum and we found a bunch of stuff that he could eat, but it was hard for him to have to say no to so much stuff. So it sucks, doesn't it? Oh god, yeah. Give me some spinach. I love my spinach. I love putting spinach on my pizzas. They're just so good. I love spinach so much. Yeah, my husband's meat and potato. Give him meat and potato and he's good. I kind of have to make him add the veg to his plate. But yeah, I'm more of the house head. I like a lot of vegetables and things, whereas my husband will like his meat and his potatoes. And the boys, they go through phases. Mally, my youngest, he does enjoy eating a lot of the vegetarian meals with me, but he will still eat meat and eat a lot of the meat meals with his father. And me oldest still likes to cook. Back when I used to cook everything from scratch, he still remembers a lot of that, so he does a lot of cooking, and he still makes the most wonderful foods, but most of it I can't eat. Whereas my middle one, he hates cooking, so if he can get a takeaway or a bung in the oven or something, he would do that. It's hard when there's so many food allergies and things, isn't it? It's just trying to fit around. Luckily, all of my food are food intolerances rather than allergies, so I don't have to worry too much. But my brother-in-law, he's allergic to tomatoes, so it's very hard for him to have meals out and about because they put tomato powder in everything. So I'm quite lucky that if it happens to have some dairy or gluten in it, I'm not going to react well, but it's not going to be dangerous for me, whereas it's so much more dangerous for other people. Ah, looks like you two might be similarly pretty close. Right, so I've done the pink, so I've done a colourway of all of them now, so I think I might head off because my back is killing me. I don't know if I can show you what I've done there. So probably only just see the pink and the blue, but the other purple is in there. It's just hid because it's just hid underneath them all. But I think I'm going to call it quits there and lie down because it hurts. Because it's been 1 hour 25 minutes I've been going, and I've been spinning all morning as well. I've got a whole skein over there that I've already done, and then of course there was this one which I finished off on the live, but I've spun the whole grey and plied that whole thing today as well. And I think I've completely had enough. So I'm going to go and hopefully catch you all again in a later time. I'm going to turn off TikTok first so I can remember how. And that one. There we go. That's that one ended. So now we can try to end this one. And I will see you all soon. So you'll take care. Sorry I'm heading off so early, Tina. I know you've only just got here, but I need to head off. So you take care. Bye bye.